In this video, we will be learning about the Karakatwas of the 12th house. 12th house reveals about feet, toes, left eye, genitals, mental trouble, fears, imprisonment, liberation, discharge of debts, enemies, loss of wealth, expenditure, extravagance, unforeseen troubles, sorrow, misfortune, punishment, imprisonment, asylums, monasteries, confinement, bad deals, secret enemy, conspiracy, occult sciences, kidnapping, looting, crime, arson, rape, poisoning, smuggling, blackmailing, mutilation, gallantry, pity, renouncing, wretchedness, disputes, anger, bodily injury, death, journeys, travel abroad, exile, extradition, sexual pleasures, sound sleep, inferiority complex, service to society, ancestral property, expenditure and loss of life. It refers to secluded service, retirement, escape, sacrifice, and unconsciousness, emotional, intuitive, psychic, sacrificial aspects, serious sickness, mystical spirituality, spiritual practices, emancipation, institutionalized religion. Uttara Kalambita says 12th house gives the details about the following: disturbed sleep, mental worry or anguish, the 2 feet, fear from foes, imprisonment, freedom from suffering, relief from debts, elephants and horses, paternal property, enemy, ascent into heaven, left eye, hated by the public, crippled limbs, loose sex life, breakdown of marriage, giving up the sleeping bed, loss of power or authority, kept in chains in an enemy's house, mental imbalance, miserable condition, harm, wounded by the thought of loss of happiness of the father and brothers, disputes, anger, physical ailment, death, migrating to a different place, expenditure of all kinds, and loss of wife or husband. Furthermore, 12th house means expenditure, loss of wealth, spending money for prescribed or prohibited pursuits, pressures of the bedroom, mental anguish, loss of sleep, physical disease, wickedness, penury, loss or disease of a limb, loss of authority, imprisonment, confinement in an enemy's house, loss of spouse, exit from the world, emancipation, renunciation, distant travel, foreign land, immigration, loss in travel, paternal property, spiritual learning, secret learning, fear from overt and covert enemies. In medical astrology, it is sleep disorders, mental imbalance, hospitalization, feet, left eye, death. So, 12th house significance various lot of things, of which these are the few things that we can consider the karakatwas of the 12th house. So, understanding these things says that 12th house is not just the loss or an expenses. If we can consider the 12th house as the expense that we put on a, say for an example, recliner. A recliner gives us the comfort. The sofa gives the comfort if we sit on it. Whereas the same recliner costs us certain amount of money. So if we spend the amount of the money on the comfort, we get on the object, we get the comfort out of it. Similarly, if we say the expenditure we spend on learning education gives us the knowledge. So through learning this knowledge, we will be able to do work in the society. 12th house not only describes about the losses, it is also describing about the sleeping disorders or the sleep. If we have a good sleep, then we have a good mind and a good body. If we have a good mind and a good body, we have good financial status, good work, and we will be able to study things well and do good things. So 12th house forms the base for the rest of the horoscope and in terms of the sleep and sleeping disorders. If we have good sleep, we get good life, we get good thoughts. 12th house is not only that we are discussing about only about losses or expenditure. It is also long distance travel. It is also moksha. The karaka for the 12th house is Saturn. The na- Jupiter rules the natural zodiac 12th house, Pisces sign, and Venus gets exalted in the Pisces. So if we combine all these things, all these three things, and if we observe, Venus being the most pleasure-seeking planet, pleasure-giving planet, is getting exalted in the moksha sthana. So ultimately, the meaning of the 12th house is it is our spiritual practice. That is what we spend our time in praying God, in reaching God. It is the state of being in the spiritual life that we attain the moksha. So this 12th house describes how we are going to attain God and attain the moksha. So this 12th house is also the knowledge of divine worship. It also has uh, the base for our mind to reach the God. So that's why Venus gets exalted in this house. Even having many pleasures, many material gains, but still it is ultimately reaching the God is what is more important